right. Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. Tonight, this afternoon, this morning, whatever time it is, I am going to actually hold on one second. I meant to also click on Instagram to go live there. As I said, we would be doing this in both places. So hello, everyone. If it doesn't look like I'm looking at you, it's only because I am streaming this both on Facebook and on Instagram, just because I think it's so valuable, so important, and I want everyone to have access to it. So if you're just joining in, welcome. Give me a wave, a high five, a hand, and I'm super excited you are here and that you have decided to take some time out of your busy day to join me. So tonight, it's not really night yet, is it? This afternoon, we're going to be talking about the second tool that I so firmly believe is required to be in your toolbox as a coach to help your clients create sustainable change. Now, if you did not, if you weren't here last week, same time, same place, no worries. But last week, I actually covered tool number one. And tool number one was all about the nervous system. Nervous system is actually not really taught a lot about in at least most of the coach trainings, programs I have been a part of. And what I want you to know is that your nervous system, being in a regulated state, is required in order for you or your clients to make any change, any sustainable change. So it's imperative that you, of course, learn first how to regulate your own nervous system, and then to teach your clients how to regulate their nervous system. It's not necessarily your job to regulate their nervous system. Of course, you can. You can include that as part of your program, your coaching if you want. But by not teaching your clients some very simple tools, you're really doing them, in my opinion, a very big disservice, because whenever we try to make change, right? If you're in an unregulated state, it's very hard for the mind and the body to create that change and to make it sustainable. So if you missed that, no worries, go back, listen to last week's. If you can't find it or you need access to it, send me a message. I will get it to you right in your inbox. Okay, so that's what we did last week. Tonight, we are going to talk about the second tool, and it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. It has helped me so much in my own life personally, and it has helped so many of my clients really create change for their own lives and for their clients' lives now, as I mostly help coaches now up-level, master their skills and tools. So it has a very cool trickling effect. And I really believe that this work that we're all doing, right, as coaches is really not just impacting us, but it's going to impact so many generations to come, which is so fucking cool. Anyways, if you're new and we haven't really met or we haven't connected, I'm Rachel Friedman. I'm so, like I said, I'm very happy. I'm very grateful that you've decided to tune in and listen today. So let's dive right in, okay? So let's just for a second, take a moment. I want to just kind of help you self-identify if you're doing any of these things that I'm going to mention, that you're not alone and you're in the exact right place. So for example, if you get really nervous before your calls, you're in the right place. If you find that you're taking a lot of time to prep for your calls, like one of my clients, she was spending like hours, like 3 or 4 hours prepping for her calls. That is what I would say excess. Of course, you want to spend time prepping for your calls. You want to be thinking about your clients, but there's a balance of when it's too much. You're in the right place. Okay. If you are getting on a call with your clients and finding that you're going over a lot, I used to do this all the time. Now, of course, I still go over sometimes. I'm going to be fully honest, but Is it coming from trying to prove yourself, making sure that you're giving tons of value? Or is it just coming from that, you just have so much to share with this client and just there's so much you can see? Two totally different things. So if this is you, any of these to this point, go ahead and give me like a 1 in the comments, because I want you to know you aren't alone. Here are some other signs that you may need sort of an upgrade when it comes to your skills. If you aren't telling anyone that you are a coach, like maybe the only person you've told is your mom or your best friend, this is a clear sign, okay, that we need to get to work on your skills, right? Your abilities as a coach. If you're spending a lot of time working on all the behind the scenes stuff, like a logo, a website, if you're spending a lot of time working on designing your offer, meaning your process, I don't want to actually say your offer is very simple. It's just a decision. But if you're spending a lot of time trying to figure out the steps, or you're making it very complicated, or you think it needs to be very complicated, again, I want you to know nothing's gone wrong, and likely there's some tweaks that we can make, some 1-degree shifts, right, to help get you where you're feeling more grounded and more competent as a coach. Okay, so any of those land with you, no worries, I get it. I have been there. My guess is maybe you've even already got a certification and you're listening. Awesome. My guess is some of you have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on these certifications. Maybe you were even sold on this need for the certification to get these certain letters behind your name. I know I was, and I really believed that's what was going to make me credible as a coach. And the truth is that I'm not saying your certification was bad. It was probably great. And it likely was missing one key component. And that is my guess why maybe to this point you still aren't feeling as confident as you want to be. Maybe this is why you're struggling a little bit. And if you're thinking right now, I'm doing something wrong, I'm missing that magic formula, that secret potion, I want you to know that nothing has gone wrong. The only thing right now that we need to clean up is the way you feel as a coach. And that means we need to build your competency, okay? Most coaches are going about this all backwards, okay? They are signing up for all the marketing and sales program, all the business programs. And I know because I did it too. And then they're taking these courses, right? They're doing these programs, joining the masterminds, and they're still not able to be attracting the clients they want. So, right, maybe they're even taking the action that these marketing business coaches are telling them to do, but something isn't quite working. If it sounds familiar, give me a thumbs up, because I know I was in this place very similarly. And the problem here is that if your energy is off, if you don't feel confident, if you don't feel grounded and solid in your tools, your skills, and your abilities, you don't feel so certain that you can create results for your clients, no matter what, that you're not going to get, your words all mixed up, that when you get on a call, that it's going to just intuitively flow through you, then of course, anything you're doing right now with your marketing likely is just going to fall completely flat. Maybe you've even been told, right? Well, you just need to be more confident. You just need to work on your confidence. Sound familiar? I know that's what I was told. And the truth is, I don't actually think most coaches have a confidence problem. I think it's a competency problem. And so unfortunately, that's what's being sold. It's being sold, right? That once you are confident, then it will all work out. Then all the pieces will fall in place. But it's not really what works. We have to build competency. And the competency is what enables us to create the confidence. And I call this the confidence gap. And if you missed last week's video, no worries, but I kind of go into a little bit more detail on it so you can grab it there about how we do that. So what I want you to know though, the tool today that I'm going to share with you, and I promise I'm getting to it shortly, it's imperative that you master this in order for you to be effective as a coach. Okay. So the thing is, you can't just learn the tool though on a cerebral level. A lot of certifications, a lot of programs, a lot of courses, a lot of books are teaching you intellectually, right? Like they're encouraging you to study this manual, understand the theory, understand the methodology, which is valuable, but it only takes you so far. The truth is you need to learn how to embody it. It needs to become second nature. And the only way something becomes second nature is through practice, through application, through really consistent and strategic feedback, and then going and applying that feedback. That is really the only way that we embody something, right? So let me just give you an example. My daughter, she plays very competitive softball, and she can study a formula of where the bat and the ball, right, should hit each other so it goes where she wants it to go. And she can study that. She can read about it. She can learn about it. But until she starts to practice it and do the repetitiveness of the swing after swing after swing, it's not going to land in her body. It's not going to become second nature. It's not going to become intuitive. And it's the same thing with coaching. And what's happening is a lot of coaches I see, they go through a certification, right? They're taught on a very cerebral level, but they don't learn how to embody it, okay? Which is also going to bring us back to our tool today. But they aren't able to really take this information and they're not putting in the reps. They're not getting the feedback. They're not getting the ability to practice. So when they get on that call with their client, they can feel at such ease, they can feel calm and grounded. They can create that spaciousness that's needed, that safety that is required, so they can really hear and listen their client and direct them and show them the way. Okay, help them see that actually your client always has the way, but you're going to be able to shine that light for them. Which is why, right, like inside the Live Your Dharma coaching certification, we focus so heavily on not just teaching like a bunch of theories behind effective coaching, but I give ample amounts of time and space so you can practice it, okay? Because it's not just like, it's not even just practicing, it's also giving you critical feedback, right? It is something that's not included from what I've seen in most programs. They don't have it. And this is required to become an efficient coach. And then we have a whole process of how we do this, and you do it with your peers too. So unless you take your coaching from the intellectual, the cerebral level into the body, right? Into the embodiment practice, my guess is you're going to continue to have a lot of wobbles. You're going to not feel as certain when you get on a call. You're going to be spending way too much time preparing and likely trying to over deliver. The other thing I see is that then because you're not feeling so certain in your abilities, you undercharge. Okay, and that's a whole another subject. We're not going to go into it today, but I want you to know all of this starts with you going first, putting in the work, going through the practice, having the feedback, and then of course, having these essential tools. It's not having more, but there are essential tools that you need to have in your toolbox. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about number 2 today. And the one I've been referencing today is somatics. Okay. Give me like a thumbs up, a heart, something if you've heard of somatics, if you're familiar with somatics, if you've practiced somatics before. Because somatics is not something that I have seen. I've been part of many programs, in many coaching programs. It's included in a lot of therapy programs, but I have this really strong belief that coaches are more than capable and should have it in their toolbox, okay? And I want to take you through a little bit of a somatic experience right now, tonight, okay? Before I do that though, I want you to understand what it is in case it's totally new to you. And what somatics in general is learning how to tune in to your body. Our bodies have been shown to hold memories, to hold experiences, to hold stories. And when those memories get stored, right, they can either serve us, right, depending on the good ones, the positive ones, but the ones that are heavy, the ones that created, I like to say, like a break, okay? The ones that have impacted us in ways that are creating struggles, suffering, problems. They are being stored for so many of us in our bodies. And what happens is when you don't process them, when you don't tune into them and learn how to release them, literally they can create pain in your body. That's why your clients will often come to you and tell you, got low back pain, right? Or my hips hurt a lot. I hear that a lot. They cause disease. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, right? Like I was sharing it with my mom. I was talking to her about it. They had just left. They were here. And the truth is that it's not that the trauma or the experience created the disease per se. I do believe that you have some genetic factors, environmental factors, but the stress, right, of the experience, if you don't learn how to release it, can definitely trigger that disease faster. It can also make it worse. It can also create something to come forward in the body that may not have before, because like, let's be real, right? When your immune system is down, you're more susceptible. Okay, so it's really important as coaches that we are able to help our clients release things that are holding on, gripping inside our bodies. We got to get them out of their minds sometimes and tap into their bodies. When we just stay in the mind, as we've been talking about, it's much harder to create that sustainable change. But when we can connect the mind and the body, and when we can tune into the body, magic happens. Okay, so let me just give you an example of where somatics might come into play and how it could be really useful. So if your client comes to you and they seem to be consistently falling back into old patterns and old habits, and you feel like you're kind of just running into a roadblock with them, somatics is a really good tool to access with them, because often if we're just keeping them in their head and we haven't accessed the intelligence of the body, we haven't gotten them to the place where they can really feel it. And remember, we need to feel things to create change, right? We need to get them out of their heads to tap into the bodies. Okay, so I want you guys to know, unfortunately, some of this you might see as woo. And that, I'm okay with that. It's not as westernized as a lot of other practices, right? But what I also want you to know is that in Western medicine, we treat problems and symptoms, and we don't often get to the root. If you want your clients to be able to create sustainable change, if you want them to be able to create and hit their goals and not 6 months later falling right back into old habits, this shit is required, people. Okay, I want you to know that, because we got to get to the root, and the root lives in the body. So even if you think it's woo, I really, really want you to encourage to try it out. When you integrate somatics into your coaching and you get your clients out of just being in their head, the cerebral level, right? Then it's going to become second nature for them, which, just like we want our coaching to become second nature, we want their new habits and patterns to also become second nature. That's really what it means to embody something when I talk about embodiment. Okay, so the best way to do this is to practice over and over and over. okay, to put in your reps, to go first. I say that to my coaches all the time. I used to say that to my clients when I was doing general life coaching. I go first, and I want you to go first. When you go first and you feel it, you experience, you embody it, is so much easier to hold that space for your clients. So that's why inside the Live Your Dharma, we practice so much. It's why we really, really integrate feedback. It's why we make those 1-degree shifts. And as I introduce techniques like somatics, and tonight I'm just going to take you through one of the somatic exercises I have inside the program. There's actually, I think, 3 or 4, and we do it together, right? They go home and they practice it on themselves, and then they have to go practice it with their peers. And then we come back and they practice it in front of everyone and get the feedback. This is honestly, guys, what's required for things to become second nature. It truly is. Okay, because we want to get results. We want our clients to get results. That's why we're in for all this. And that's what it's going to require. Okay, so let's do it. I want you to sit up tall. I want you to plant your feet on the ground. And I want you to close your eyes. Okay, let your eyes just close. And of course, if you're driving, you're probably not listening to this. Don't close your eyes. But close your eyes, and I want you to just take a couple deep breaths in from your nose and out from your mouth. Breathe nice and slowly and allow your exhale to just linger. And I want you to start at your feet. Your feet, right? Your root chakra, which is your foundation. If you're familiar with the chakras at all, I want you to tap into your feet. And I want you to notice how they feel. Then you're going to begin to bring this awareness from your feet up into your shins, your knees, your thighs. When you hit your pelvis, I want you to just pause for a moment and notice how the lower half from your pelvis down feels. I want you to notice if there is any tightness, if there's any tension anywhere in the lower half of your body. And if there is, I want you to just breathe into it nice and slowly. I don't want you to get into your head as much as your head's going to want to pull you out of your body. I want you to stay with me, and I want you to stay in your body. Okay. We're just going to pause there for a moment. Okay. So you're just pausing from the pelvis down, noticing right now how you feel. Just making some mental notes. Noticing what feels really good, right? Noticing if anything feels heavy. Does anything feel warm? See if you can let your brain really be specific with describing right now how you're feeling. Okay, from there, we're going to take that awareness from your pelvis into your low belly, your low back. This is a place that many people will feel tightness, will feel tension, will feel discomfort. And I want you to take a moment and don't rush the process. When you feel complete, begin to draw your focus and your attention up your torso. So up and down your spine, all parts of it, okay? A lot of people, when they come to session and they come with something, right? Like I'm struggling with, I don't know, my mother-in-law, we'll just say. I will have them, once we talk about it a little bit, go into their body. And then I will ask them, where do you feel this in your body? The brain wants to take over, and I encourage them, let it go for a moment from the brain and tune into your body. And a lot of times I will find people either say their belly, their chest, or their throat. And as a coach, one of the things you want to notice is if they place their hands somewhere. I was on a call with a client this morning, and we were talking about how she was going to direct the last 3 sessions of a group she's running. And she was just wanting to talk it out. And I noticed her hand went right to her throat, because her throat chakra, what she truly wanted to say and verbalize, she was holding herself back. People's hands will land often where they're feeling a little bit restricted. So if their hand lands nowhere, and of course, inside Live Your Dharma, I give you all of this, right? Like we go into this in much greater detail so you can understand why people's hands and things are going in different places. There is reasons, guys. There is actually scientific proof why we do certain things. But if their hands don't land anywhere, then we might encourage them to place their hand somewhere and see where it goes. If someone's like, I don't feel it anywhere. Okay, well, just put your hand on your body and just notice where their hands land. And if they put their hand on their heart, which is very common, we can then take them into this space wherever their hand landed and enable them to start to tap into the wisdom of that space of their body. Now, I don't want to keep you here all night, so we aren't going to do that. We do that inside the program. I help you understand this on a very deep, powerful level so you can help your clients, right? You can help your clients tap into that sensation, be able to process it, be able to understand what's going on, and begin to slowly release it. Now, I want you to know this doesn't always happen in one session. Sometimes they have to keep coming back. There are also other techniques we use. I have a tool called the Embodiment Tool, which is magical, which helps a lot of clients be able to shift if they've been feeling stuck. Okay. But with your eyes closed right now, I want you to notice if your hand landed anywhere. And wherever it landed, I want you to pause there. So once you've scanned your whole body, notice where your hand landed. And then I want you to notice how it feels in that area. I want you to describe it. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it tight? Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it fluttery? Is it sharp? Is it rigid? Is it hard? Is it soft? These are all words to describe this sensation. And we stay with it. And we give our client the time and the space necessary to be with it, to continue to breathe into it, to continue to listen to it. And then we take them through a journey. And that journey requires asking the body to give us wisdom. So I want you to ask your body right now if it has something that it wants to tell you. And I want you to just pause. And if at first nothing comes to mind, it's not a problem. Sometimes nothing will. But if you give yourself the time and the space, it will. And if you give your clients that time and the space, it will. And it is from there that we begin to process that emotion, which is a whole nother video, whole nother training. But for tonight, I want you to sit with your body. I want you to be in touch with your body and the wisdom of it, because it has such amazing wisdom to provide you. Okay, so I want you to know that you can dive into this work, right? We can go super deep, super fast, so your clients get sustainable, effective results faster by doing things like tuning into the wisdom of our bodies. And that's exactly what we do inside the Live Your Dharma certification. Is I teach you how to do that. And then we practice it, we apply it, we get feedback, and then we apply the feedback. Okay. And then we coach you on what's coming up for you, because we go first and we've got to clean up our own container in order to become that magnetic, that energetic match for our ideal clients, right? So we're bringing them in. And I can tell you that all of the marketing and sales in the world is not going to work if you don't first work on your tools and your skills and your competence. So look, if you are a coach and you're prepping for hours and hours before your calls, if you're afraid to take on a big, large client load because you're afraid it's just going to wear you out and overwhelm you, Or if you want a big load and they're not coming your way, right? If you're afraid that you won't be able to handle whatever comes your way. If you've signed up for a lot of these marketing programs and you're putting out content, but it's simply not landing, right? It's not actually converting, then you're in the right place right now. And I want you to know that is what we focus on. Those are the coaches I help. Those are the people that are going to get the fastest, most efficient, most effective, sustainable results, just like your clients, okay? And this is how we do it, guys. So we focus on up-leveling your coaching skills, getting out of just thought work and really going beyond it, because thought work is amazing and it's just one simple tool. There is so much more out there, guys. It's so much more out there that is going to make your coaching sessions so much more powerful and so much more effective. We look at different coaching situations so you can bring them to our calls to help you navigate them. So you never, ever again feel wobbly. You will know how to deal with whatever comes your way. I give you my simple questions that you can integrate in your coaching sessions that guarantee your clients are going to get results. I 100% can promise it. And of course, I've simplified my marketing and sales process so it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a ton of energy, because really where a lot of your clients are going to be coming from is this energy I'm talking about. And you're going to be getting tons of referrals because your coaching is me so on freaking fire that your clients are going to be telling everyone and their mother about it. And literally that's how my business grew in less than 3 years to multiple 6 figures. Okay. So I want you to know that right now you can close your eyes, ground yourself, and know that you are 100% capable. I see you. I believe in you. It's small 1-degree shifts. It's not this like massive change that probably has to happen. And when you make those 1-degree shifts, you are going to have the most amazing, the most fun business that is not leaving you dry. Okay. So that's something that sometimes coaches come to me with, is they feel a bit exhausted, and we do not want that. So I want you to right now just imagine waking up every morning knowing that you're going to be making a difference in someone's life today, that because of you, they're living their best life. I mean, it's fucking amazing. That's how I wake up every day, and it's seriously the best feeling ever. I love it. I can't even imagine living a life in a different way. This is what I call living and following your dharma. And for anyone who's curious, because I have had people be like, what the hell does the word dharma mean, Rachel? Dharma just means that you were given a purpose. You were put on this earth for a purpose, and now you're fulfilling and living it out. And I believe my purpose as a coach is to serve people, to make the coaching industry so fucking powerful that when people think of coaches, they think of change. They think of what's possible, and they doesn't ever cross their mind that this is like a load of crap, which is unfortunately what I hear. Okay. Because we are going to give you the sustainable tools. You're going to have them ingrained in your body. They're going to be second nature, that all of your clients, I promise, they'll be getting amazing results, as will you. Okay. So if this sounds like you, right? And you're like, okay, I want more. I want to learn more about these tools like you shared today, you shared last week. I want to encourage you to go ahead and fill out the application. We're right now just in the early phases. We're not even in full launch mode yet for the program, the next round. It actually doesn't start till August. If you sign up before the 1st of July, you get $1,000 off your tuition. That is my gift for you for being committed and coming in early. And of course, soon as you join, you get access to the module, so you can get started right away. You don't have to wait till August. Okay. So I will drop that if you're watching this on Facebook in the comments. If you're on Instagram and you're watching, then know that the link is in my bio. So you can go up there, click there. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And next week, I will be back next Thursday for another fun live. And we will be doing the 3rd of the 3 tools. So make sure to tune in, and I'll see you then. All right, guys, have a wonderful, a fantastic week, what's left of it, and a really amazing weekend. See you soon.